Alright, welcome to part 4, in which we will cover all the fan-made 2005 PBS Home Video releases of Arthur. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first 2005 release we'll cover is Arthur's Money Matters. This got a Sony Wonder DVD and VHS release on February 1st, 2005. Now, for the PBS Home Video version of Arthur's Money Matters, I'm going to have that one come out on the exact same day, February 1st, 2005. Now, the front cover for this one is lime green with darker green circles on there, and Dot is on the left side of the PBS Kids logo, kind of like what happened with Arthur Cracks the Case, except with Dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo on Arthur Cracks the Case, where he's in the usual original lime green color, whereas other releases, Dot and Dash are completely different colors. And for the spine of Arthur's Money Matters, let's have Dot in the PBS Kids logo. And on the back, it'll have Dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And for the episodes, they would be the Season 1 episode, Arthur Bounces Back, the Season 3 episode, DW Tricks the Tooth Fairy, and the Season 6 episode, More, which is, of course, redubbed with Rendell voicing Arthur. Beginning with this release, Juicy Juice, Post Alphabets, and Teddy Grahams are no longer sponsored for the show, and the only sponsor is Chuck E. Cheese's. Still uses Cool Chuck on the screen until 2006. And, of course, let's find out what appears at the beginning before the menu. Alright, there's the warning screen from Paramount. Now, let's see what PBS Kids video logo comes up next here. I'm curious to know what it is. PBS Hits! Alright, after the Paramount warning screen for the PBS Home Video version of Arthur's Money Matters, you get the custom Kids Video version of the PBS Kids Snow Globe ident that fades in and out, and then the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. Then after you push the play button, it takes you to the title sequence, which has the glass breaking noises, and then the start of the episode, Arthur Bounces Back. Now, the closing to the PBS Home Video version of DVD, I would imagine closes with the last few seconds of the episode More, online local library promo, end credits from Season 6, and it has the techno remix, funding credits, with Chuck E. Cheese's being the only sponsor, and then we go right to the Season 6 funding credits with Concord Grape Jelly Purple checkerboard background, and the PBS Kids Dash transformation ident from the Sony Wonder release. Is it intact in the PBS Home Video version? Let's see what happens here. PBS Kids! Yes. After the PBS Kids Dash transformation ident without the Kids Video text and the pbskids.org URL from the Sony Wonder release that is kept completely intact in the PBS Home Video version as well, we go back to the menu, and now we'll go to the next release. Next release we'll cover is Arthur, the Big Riddle. The Sony Wonder DVD and VHS came out on February 1st, 2005, and the PBS Home Video version will come out on the exact same day. So, the front cover for this one is purple, and it has some circles there, with Dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. And the spine, I would imagine, have Arthur in the PBS Kids logo, and the back would have Dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And the episodes here are the Season 5 episodes, Arthur and the Big Riddle and It's a No-Brainer, which apparently got banned on PBS recently due to a noose joke that was used, and the season 6 episode Rhyme for Your Life, which is of course redubbed with Rendell voicing Arthur. Now let's find out what we see at the beginning of the PBS Home Video version before the menu. Alright, and we get the Paramount warning screen. I'm curious to know what PBS Kids video ident we're going to see next on the big riddle. Let's find out. PBS! Once again, on the big riddle, after the Paramount warning screen, we get the custom kids video version of the PBS Kids Snow Globe ident again, which fades in and out, and then the Use Your Imagination promo before we go to the menu. And then after you push the play button, it goes to the title sequence with the glass breaking noises and the start of Arthur and the Big Riddle. Now at the very end of the PBS Home Video version, I imagined it closing with the last few seconds of the episode Rhyme for Your Life, online local library promo, and credits. It has a season 6 episode, but it does not have the techno remix. Funding credits, Chuck E. Cheese being the only sponsor, and the Sony Wonder DVD had a special abridged version of the Dash transformation ident that starts off with Dash in robot form. I wonder if a PBS Home Video version's gonna keep it. PBS Kids! And it turns out it apparently does. Both the Sony Wonder and PBS Home Video versions have the abridged version of the Dash transformation ident that starts off with Dash in robot form, fading in at Dash's last transformation, which is kept completely intact here, and then it takes you to the menu, and now we'll go over the next release. Anyway, the next release is Arthur's Tooth. The Sony Wonder DVD came out on February 1st, 2005. I would imagine the PBS Home Video DVD version coming out on the exact same day. Now, we know that the VHS was originally released in 1998, so the VHS would have the P-head logo with no circle on the front spine and back cover. The DVD, on the other hand, has a blue background with circles and has dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have Dash in the PBS Kids logo. And the back cover, I would imagine, have Dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And the episodes that are on here are the season 1 episodes, Arthur's Tooth and Sick as a Dog, and the season 6 episode, The Secret Life of Dogs and Babies, which in one part of the episode, which of course parodies Teletubbies at the very beginning of the episode, and also parodies Rugrats before it, which Rugrats was released by Paramount, and Paramount did take over releasing Teletubbies VHS tapes and DVDs beginning in 2004 after Warner Brothers lost the rights. Quite a coincidence if you ask me. And of course, it's the more common redubbed version with Rendell voicing Arthur in the episode. Now let's find out. I gotta be honest, the Teletubbies parody that is shown in Arthur, that is so hilariously funny. Even though I call Teletubbies mediocre, Arthur does it in a way that makes it turn from a mediocre show into a very hilarious parody, because even Arthur is annoyed when he sees the Teletubbies parody on the TV, saying, "Oh, come on, DW, not this show." Of course, if I were to still do a voice of him, my voice would just be as mature as Yarmush from Season 5 and Bradley. But, of course, now we'll find out what appears at the beginning of the DVD version of Arthur's Tooth. Now, obviously, the VHS version would have, from PBS Home Video, would have the FBI warning, Warner Home Video logo, and PBS Kids P-Pals ident with EI balloon. Now let's find out what the DVD version from 2005 uses. Alright, here is the Paramount warning screen. Now, the Sony Wonder DVD actually closed with the regular fishbowl ident with URL. Blah, 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 blah. PBS! Funnily enough, the beginning of the Paramount and PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur's Tooth after the Paramount warning screen goes to the custom kids video version of the same fishbowl ident that fades in and out, and then the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. And then after you push the play button, it takes you to the title sequence with the glass-breaking noises and the start of the episode Arthur's Tooth. Now, the closing, I would imagine, would have the last few seconds of The Secret Life of Dogs and Babies, online local library promo, Season 6 end credits is used with the techno remix. And then the funding credits, once again, Chuck E. Cheese's is the only sponsor. And then for the first time ever, we go back to using the Season 6 funding with grassy green checkered grid background. And remember I said the Sony Wonder DVD close with the fishbowl ident. Is it intact here on the PBS Home Video version? Blah, 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 blah. PBS! Yes. Just like the Sony Wonder DVD version of Arthur's Tooth, the PBS Home Video version keeps the regular TV version of the PBS Kids fishbowl ident shown on broadcasts with pbskids.org URL with no kids video text completely intact at the end. It's exactly like what kind of happened with the PBS Home Video version of Arthur's Only Rock and Roll with the kids video version of the fishbowl ident used at the beginning and the regular broadcast version used at the end. Alright, now we'll go over to the next release. And there's the menu, of course. Alright, next release we'll cover is Arthur's Treasure Hunt, which also got a Sony Wonder DVD released on February 1st, 2005. And as I've mentioned, the PBS Home Video version of the VHS is one of the last tapes to use the PBS Kids P-Head logo with no circle for the front, spine, and back cover. Now, the PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine, come out on the same day as the Sony Wonder DVD, February 1st, 2005, of course. And the front cover for it, for the DVD, is updated. It's green and it has circles, and it has dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have Arthur and the PBS Kids logo on the DVD, and the back, I would imagine, have Dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And, of course, the episodes here are all from Season 3. They are Arthur's Treasure Hunt, The Chips Are Down, and Revenge of the Chip. Now, let's find out. Before we get into that, however, the 1999 VHS obviously would be the last one with the P-Pals ident with the EI balloon after the FBI warning and Warner Home Video logo appear. Now let's find out what the PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005 uses. Alright, there's the Paramount warning screen. Now I'm curious to know what PBS Kids video logo you're going to see at the beginning of Arthur's Treasure Hunt DVD version. Alright, so on the PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur's Treasure Hunt, after the Paramount warning screen, you get the custom PBS Kids video version of the Dot transformation ident, which cuts to black and has the correct audio, and then the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. And then after you push the play button, it takes you to the title sequence with the glass-breaking noises and the start of Arthur's Treasure Hunt. Now, at the very end of the PBS Home Video version, I'd imagine it closed with the last few seconds of Revenge of the Chip, online local library promo, end credits, funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the only sponsor, and then the funding credits from Season 6 with Concord Grape Jelly Purple Checkerboard background is used. And the Sony Wonder DVD had the dash transformation at the end. Is it intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version? Let's find out.
PBS Kids!
Yes. The Sony Wonder DVD had the dash transformation ident with pbskids.org URL without kids video text. It's also kept completely intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version as well. Then we go back to the menu, and now we'll go to the next release. Next release we'll cover is You Are Arthur. This was one of the first Sony Wonder titles that never got a VHS release. It only got a DVD release. So, PBS Home Video, on the other hand, will get VHS releases of You Are Arthur as well. And this will also apply with the PBS Home Video releases for the rest of 2005 and 2006 as well, in that they will get VHS releases that year. So You Are Arthur was released by Sony Wonder on DVD May 10th, 2005, but the PBS Home Video version will come out on VHS and DVD on the exact same day. So, front cover for this is yellow, but the circles are green, and dash is on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, what could be fitting, would have Arthur on the PBS Kids logo. Back would have dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo, and the episodes on here are all from Season 5, and they are You Are Arthur, The Election, and The World Record. First time we have Roast 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls sponsor Arthur, in addition to Chuck E. Cheese's. Now, let's find out what the PBS Home Video DVD version of You Are Arthur uses at the beginning. Alright, so the DVD of You Are Arthur starts off with the Paramount warning screen. Now let's see what PBS Kids video logo appears at the beginning of this one. This could surprise you.
PBS Kids!
So, on the DVD of You Are Arthur, it starts off with the Paramount warning screen, and then once again it goes to the custom PBS Kids video version of the dot transformation ident, but this time it uses the dash transformation audio when it fades out. Then we get the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. After you push the play button for the DVD of You Are Arthur, you get the title sequence. It has the boing sound before the glass breaking noises on this DVD. And then at the start of the episode, You Are Arthur. Now, at the end of the PBS Home Video version, I imagined it closing with the last few seconds of The World Record, and then and now a word from us kids segments, and then of course the online local library promo, end credits, funding credits, Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor, and then Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls being the next sponsor. This is the first release to feature Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls sponsoring the show, of course. Then the funding credits from Season 6 with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background. Now, the Sony Wonder DVD closed with the regular broadcast version of the dot transformation ident. Is it intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version?
PBS Kids!
Yes, it is. The PBS Home Video version of You Are Arthur keeps the PBS Kids dot transformation ident with the pbskids.org URL without the kids video text from the end of the Sony Wonder release completely intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version, with the correct audio at the end of the release. Then we go back to the menu, and that was You Are Arthur. Now we go to the next release. And the temporarily last release that we'll cover before I have to take a break to help somebody out with a music request will be Arthur Goes Crosswire. The PBS Home Video version will be released on May 10th, 2005, much like the Sony Wonder release. Now, the front cover for this one is red with slightly darker red circles with dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, also would have Arthur on the PBS Kids logo, and the back would have dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. Now, for the episodes here, they would be the Season 3 episodes, Arthur Goes Crosswire and Buster's Growing Grudge, plus the Season 1 episode, Poor Muffy. And, of course, let's find out what the PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur Goes Crosswire uses at the beginning. Before the menu, of course. Alright, so we get the Paramount warning screen first thing at the beginning. Let's see what PBS Kids video logo comes up next. Here we go.
PBS Kids.
Much like You Are Arthur, the beginning of Arthur Goes Crosswire once again has the Paramount warning screen paired with the PBS Kids dot transformation ident custom kids video version with dash transformation audio and a fade out effect. And in the PBS Kids Use Your Imagination promo before the menu. After the play button is pressed, you get the title sequence, which is the first time we hear the garbage cans clattering at the end of it. I cannot wait. I cannot believe they waited this long to include the garbage cans clattering version. And in the start of the episode, Arthur Goes Crosswire. Now, at the very end, after the episode Poor Muffy ends on the PBS Home Video version, we still get the online and local library promo, end credits, funding credits, with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor and Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls being the first sponsor. Then once again, the Season 6 funding with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background. And the PBS Kids dot transformation ident from the Sony Wonder release, is it also kept intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version? Let's see what happens.
PBS Kids.
Yes, it is. The PBS Kids dot transformation ident with pbskids.org URL, correct audio, and without the kids video text that is shown at the end of the Sony Wonder release is also kept completely intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version, and then we go back to the menu. Well, I'll have to take a temporary break for now. I gotta help somebody out with a music request, and then I will come back once I'm finished with it. Alright. Until then, talk to you later. Alright, now I'm back, and I'm ready to continue where we left off. So, next release we'll go over is the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur Goes on a Field Trip. Now, the front cover for both the VHS from 2002 and the 2005 DVD version would be orange with red circles and would have dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo, as you see here. The spine, I would imagine, on the VHS have dot on the first, on one spine of the VHS and dash in another spine on a VHS. Well, on the DVD, it will have dot on the spine. And on the back, it'll have dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo on both the VHS from 2002 and the DVD from 2005. Now, the episodes for both the VHS from 2002 and DVD from 2005 include the Season 3 episode, The Return of the King, the Season 2 episode, DW Goes to Washington, and the Season 5 episode, Sleep No More. Anyway, So, before I tell you how the DVD will open up with, I'm going to tell you how the VHS from PBS Home Video would open up like. So, in my imagination, I would imagine the 2002 VHS of Arthur Goes on a Field Trip opening with the Warner Brothers FBI warning screen, the original version of the 1996 Warner Home Video logo, and then the PBS Kids video logo with Dash using the dot audio and fading out, and the Use Your Imagination promo, and then the title sequence with the boing sound before the glass breaking noises and the start of The Return of the King. Now, for the closing of the VHS from PBS Home Video, I imagine that one closing exactly the same way as the Sony Wonder VHS, with the last few seconds of Sleep No More, the end credits from Season 5, funding credits with Post Alphabets being the first sponsor, Lego being the next sponsor, and Libby's Juicy Juice being the last sponsor. And then the Season 5 funding credits with Blueberry Blue Flower Bed background, and then the online and local library promo from Season 5, and then the 1999 PBS Kids Dash ident with pbskids.org URL without the kids video text and with the correct audio at the end. It's exactly what happened at both the beginning and end of the 2001 VHS of Caillou the Explorer and the 2002 VHS of Teletubbies Silly Songs and Funny Dances as well, where at the beginning it had the Dash version of the kids' video logo with dot audio fading out, and at the end it had the regular broadcast version of the Dash logo with pbskids.org URL without the kids' video text and correct audio. Now, let's find out what the DVD version uses from 2005. The PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005, that is. Alright, so the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version starts with the Paramount warning screen. And now let's see what PBS Kids video logo will come up in the 2005 DVD version.
PBS Kids!
So on the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, after the Paramount warning screen, you get the PBS Kids video logo, the custom Dash transformation version that fades out, and then the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. Also, in terms of the release date, the Sony Wonder VHS came out on January 22nd, 2002. That's also the same day the PBS Home Video VHS version will come out. And the DVD version would come out on May 10th, 2005. The Sony Wonder version came out on DVD May 10th, 2005, and that's the same day the PBS Home Video DVD version will also come out. Anyway, after you push the play button on the DVD, it will take you to the title sequence with the boing sound before the glass breaking noises, and then the start of The Return of the King. Now, at the end of the PBS Home Video DVD version, I imagined it closing with the last few seconds of Sleep No More, then the end credits, then the updated funding credits, and Chuck E. Cheese's is the only sponsor. And the DVD had the season 7 through 8 funding, commonly used on seasons 1 through 4 reruns with the grassy green checkered grid background. This is also intact on the PBS Home Video DVD version. Now, the Dash transformation ident was shown at the end of the Sony Wonder DVD. Let's see if it's intact on the PBS Home Video DVD at the end as well.
PBS Kids!
Yes, and of course, we all know the deal. The Dash transformation ident with pbskids.org URL and no kids video text is shown at the end because the Sony Wonder DVD kept it at the end. And that's exactly what will be kept completely intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version. The Dash transformation ident with pbskids.org URL without the kids video text. Then we go back to the menu, and that was Arthur Goes on a Field Trip DVD. Now we'll go over to the next release. The next release we'll talk about is Arthur Makes a Movie. It's another release that came out on VHS on January 22nd, 2002, and DVD May 10th, 2005 by Sony Wonder. As for the PBS Home Video version, the release dates will be exactly the same. January 22nd, 2002 on VHS, and May 10th, 2005 on DVD. Front cover for both the 2002 VHS and 2005 DVD versions from PBS Home Video would have Dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo, with a background being crimson red with pink circles. The spine, I would imagine, would have Dot on one spine of the PBS Kids logo on the VHS, and Dash on another spine on the VHS. And on the DVD, it would have Dot on the spine. And in the back, I would imagine, would have Dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo on both the VHS and DVD. And the episodes here are the Season 2 episode, Arthur Makes a Movie, Season 1 episode, Francine Frensky Superstar, and Season 2 episode, Arthur the Unfunny. Now, for the 2002 PBS Home Video VHS version, for the 2002 PBS Home Video VHS version, I would imagine that opening with the FBI warning, original version of the 1996 Warner Home Video logo, and then the PBS Kids video logo, the custom Dash transformation version that fades out. This will be the first Arthur released on VHS to feature that. Then the Use Your Imagination promo, and the title sequence with the boing sound before the glass breaking noises, and the start of Arthur Makes a Movie. Now, for the closing to the 2002 PBS Home Video VHS version, I would imagine that closing with the last few seconds of Arthur the Unfunny, the end credits, the funding credits with Libby's Juicy Juice being the first sponsor, and then Post Alphabets is the next sponsor, and then Lego is the last sponsor. Then the Season 6 funding with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background is shown on the Sony Wonder VHS, and will also be shown at the end of the PBS Home Video VHS as well. And then after that, it'll go to, because the VHS has no PBS Kids logo at the end, it'll go to the kids video version, the custom kids video version of the Dot transformation ident with correct audio that cuts to black. Just like how the DVD and VHS of Arthur's Great Summer had at the end. The only difference is at the beginning of Arthur's Great Summer, the Dash transformation ident kids video version cuts to black instead of fading out. But it still closes with the Dot transformation ident with the correct audio with kids video text and cutting to black for both the VHS of Arthur Makes a Movie and the DVD and VHS of Arthur's Great Summer at the very end. Now let's find out what the PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005 has at the beginning. Alright, so the Paramount and PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005 starts with the Paramount warning screen. Now let's see which PBS Kids video ident is used at the beginning.
PBS Kids!
Alright, so just like the 2005 DVD of Arthur Goes on the Field Trip, after the warning screen, it goes to the kids video version of the Dash transformation ident that's custom made and it fades out. And then it goes to the Use Your Imagination promo, and then it takes you to the menu. And it's very interesting in terms that both the 2002 PBS Home Video VHS version and the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version uses the PBS Kids Dash transformation ident, the custom kids video version of it, fading out before the Use Your Imagination promo. But the only difference is that the VHS uses the older version of the Use Your Imagination promo, and the DVD uses the newer version of it. But both the VHS and DVD would use the custom kids video version of the Dash transformation ident, fading out before it. And then after you push the play button in the menu on Arthur Makes a Movie 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, you get the title sequence with the boing sound before the glass breaking noises and the start of Arthur Makes a Movie. Now, the closing to the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, I imagined it closing with the last few seconds of Arthur and Funny, the end credits, and then the funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the only sponsor, and then the Arthur funding credits used on seasons 1 through 4 reruns, the season 7 through 8 funding of Arthur, commonly used on seasons 1 through 4 reruns with the grassy green checker grid background, and the Sony Wonder DVD closed with the dash transformation ident. Is it intact at the end of the PBS Home Video DVD version?
PBS Kids.
Yes, and just like the Sony Wonder DVD version, the PBS Home Video version, DVD version of Arthur Makes a Movie keeps the PBS Kids dash transformation ident without the kids video text, and the pbskids.org URL kept completely intact from the end of the Sony Wonder release at the end of the PBS Home Video DVD version as well. Now, this is the very last release to feature a PBS Kids ident that is kept completely intact at the end of the PBS Home Video version that was shown at the end of the Sony Wonder version. After this, they use kids' video versions of those logos at the end because none of the Sony Wonder releases would ever use PBS Kids idents at the end again after this release. And here's the menu. Now we'll go to the next release. Next release we'll cover is Arthur's Computer Adventure, PBS Home Video DVD version. The fan-made PBS Home Video VHS version would be released in 1999 and would obviously have the PBS Kids P-head logo with no circle for the P-head at the time on the front, spine, and back cover. Now, as for the 2005 DVD version, it was released by Sony Wonder on June 14, 2005, and we'll keep that release date exactly the same for the PBS Home Video DVD version from Paramount. Now, the front cover for the DVD version is yellow with blue circles, and it has dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have dash in the PBS Kids logo, and the back cover of it, I would imagine, have dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. Now, the episodes on the DVD are the Season 1 episode, Arthur's Computer Adventure, which is actually called Arthur the Wrecker in the title card itself. And then the Season 2 episodes, Arthur versus the Piano and Arthur's Lucky Pencil. Now, obviously, the PBS Home Video VHS version from 1999 would have the FBI warning, 1996 Warner Home Video logo, and PBS Kids P-Pals ident with EI balloon at the beginning, and would also show the P-Pals ident at the end of the 1999 PBS Home Video VHS version as well. And now, let's find out what the PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005 uses. Okay, so the PBS Home Video 2005 DVD version starts off with the Paramount warning screen, and let's see what PBS Kids Video logo comes next.
PBS Kids.
The 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur's Computer Adventure after the Paramount warning screen goes to the custom PBS Kids Video version of the dash transformation ident that cuts to black. Then the Use Your Imagination promo, which is updated once again. This time, it's a fan-made 2005 version, which contains clips from Arthur and, unfortunately, Booba. Now, this was thankfully not shown at the beginning of the Booba VHS or DVD releases, but this will be shown at the beginning of the Arthur releases from June 2005 to 2006. And I'm not going to be showing you nearly all the clips. I'm only going to be showing you the Arthur clips that I put in there. But, of course, I will mute the sound due to copyright reasons. There's one Arthur clip that I included, and another Arthur clip from the opening theme, and another Arthur clip right there, and another Arthur clip from the opening theme, and then one more Arthur clip. So I included 5 Arthur clips in this fan-made 2005 version of the Use Your Imagination promo. After that, it takes you to the menu. In addition to that, it still contains clips from Zaboomafoo, Caillou, and Teletubbies. So, plus the Sagwa clip from the 2004 version, I believe. And after you push the play button in the menu, you get the title sequence with the glass breaking noises and the start of Arthur the Wrecker. Now the closing to the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine closed with the last few seconds of Arthur's Lucky Pencil, goes straight to the end credits afterwards, but it has the copyright notice from Season 9 of Arthur playing over the Season 2 end credits, and the cookie jar logo zooming into the screen, and the WGBH logo without the word Boston. Then I included the funding for Arthur's provided by screen, and it has Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor, and then Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls being the next sponsor. Now, there's something I added here that was missing from the Sony Wonder DVD version that I included before the PBS Kids video logo. If you want to know what that is, find out for yourself. I added the Arthur funding credits from Season 7 through 8, commonly used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background. Then, I added something else afterwards.
PBS Kids!
If you thought that was the custom kids video version of the Dash transformation ident that cuts to black, then you are absolutely correct. I did this because the regular version of the Dash transformation ident without the kids video text and pbskids.org URL usually followed the Season 7 through 8 funding commonly used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background, but because there was no PBS Kids ident on the Sony Wonder release, and the funding credits wasn't there either, I had that funding be followed by the kids' video version of the Dash transformation ident this time. Pretty cool, huh? Then it takes you back to the menu. Now, we'll go over to the next release. And the second to last one I will show you the contents for. Now, the next release from 2005 we'll cover is DW Rides Again, fan-made 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version. I know the fan-made PBS Home Video VHS version would come out in 1998, and it would obviously have the PBS Kids P-Head logo with no circle in the P-Head on the front, spine, and back cover of the VHS. The 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, on the other hand, would have a green cover or teal cover with some circles with dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have dots, PBS Kids logo on the spine on the DVD, and the back, I would imagine, have dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And now the episodes are all from Season 1 on the DVD. They are DW Rides Again, Arthur's Cousin Catastrophe, and DW Flips. And obviously, the 1998 PBS Home Video VHS version, released through Warner Brothers, would start off with the Warner Brothers FBI warning, Warner Home Video logo from 1996, PBS Kids P Pals event with EI balloon at the beginning, and at the end, it would also close with the PBS Kids P Pals event with the EI balloon on the PBS Home Video VHS version. Now, in terms of the PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005, let's see what that has before the menu. Alright, so the 2005 PBS Home Video version released through Paramount would start off with the Paramount warning screen. And then let's see what the PBS Kids Video logo is.
PBS Kids!
Alright, on the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version of DW Rides Again, after the Paramount warning screen, you get the custom Kids Video version of the 2000 dot transformation ident, which cuts to black and has the correct audio, and then the fan-made 2005 version of the Using Your Imagination promo with clips from Teletubbies, Caillou, Zaboomafoo, Booba, Arthur, and Sagwa. Then it takes you to the menu. And then after you push the play button on the PBS Home Video DVD version of DW Rides Again, you get the title sequence with the water splashing noises, and then the start of DW Rides Again. Now, the PBS Home Video DVD version of DW Rides Again from 2005, I would imagine would close with the last few seconds of DW Flips. We go straight to the Season 1 end credits, but with the copyright notice from the Season 9 credits, and the cookie jar logo zooming into the screen, and the WGBH logo without the word Boston. Then the funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor and Road's 60-second cinnamon rolls being the last sponsor. And once again, I added something that was missing from the Sony Wonder DVD version before the PBS Kids Video logo. If you want to know what that is, find out for yourself. Wait till you see what it is this time. Oh, Season 7 through 8 funding commonly used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns, but this time with the grassy green checkered grid background this time. And can you guess which version of the PBS Kids Video logo I added afterward?
PBS Kids!
If you thought that I included the same ident I used at the end of Arthur's computer adventure for DW Rides Again, then you're absolutely correct once again. I included the custom kids video version of the dash transformation ident that cut to black at the very end. And then it takes you back to the menu. This was also because there was no PBS Kids ident at the end of the Sony Wonder release, and the funding credits wasn't shown at the end either. And now we'll go over to the next release, which I don't have, unfortunately, so I'll just have to tell you what I imagine would appear. Alright, the next release from 2005 from PBS Home Video we'll go over. I don't have it, unfortunately, but it's another DW-centered Arthur release. It's called DW The Picky Eater. The PBS Home Video VHS version would obviously come out in 1998. And it would have the P head in the PBS Kids logo on the front, spine, and back cover with no circle at all. Now, for the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, on the other hand, it's updated. It would be released on June 14th, 2005, like the Sony Wonder DVD version. It has a pink background with circles and has dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine for that one, I would imagine, would have dash in the PBS Kids logo. And the back cover, I would imagine, have dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And of course, the Arthur episodes that are shown here on DW The Picky Eater are the Season 2 episodes, DW The Picky Eater and Buster and the Daredevils. And then the Season 1 episode, Arthur and the Crunch Cereal Contest. Now, since I don't have the DVD, I'm just going to tell you what I imagine would appear. But before that, I'm going to tell you how the VHS version would obviously open up with The VHS version from PBS Home Video released through Warner Brothers would obviously start with the Warner Brothers FBI warning, 1996 Warner Home Video logo, PBS Kids Pee Pals ident with EI balloon at the beginning. At the end, it would obviously close with the PBS Kids Pee Pals ident with EI balloon at the end of the PBS Home Video VHS version. Now, I imagine the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version starting off with the Paramount warning screen, then going to the custom kids video version of the PBS Kids Fishbowl ident, which fades in and out, and then the fan-made 2005 version of the PBS Kids Use Your Imagination promo with clips from Caillou, Zaboomafoo, Teletubbies, Sagwa, Arthur, and Booba. And then the DVD menu, and then after you push the play button, the title sequence, which I know has the boing sound before the glass breaking noises, and then the start of the episode, DW the Picky Eater. Now, at the end of the 2005 PBS Home Video version of DW the Picky Eater on DVD, I would imagine that closed with the last few seconds of the episode Arthur and the Crunch Cereal Contest, then the end credits from Season 2, and then the funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor, and then Rhodes 60-second cinnamon rolls. And then, what I would add that was missing from the Sony Wonder release is the Season 7 through 8 funding, commonly used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns with Velveeta Cheesy Yellow Pizza Triangle background. But this time after that, I would include the custom PBS Kids video version of the Snow Globe ident, which fades in and out, and then the DVD menu. Now that was DW the Picky Eater, and now we'll go to the next release, which I do have, so I will show you the contents for that one. And this is the last DVD that I'll show you the contents for, because I don't have any more ARPA releases afterwards to show you, so I will tell you the rest of them or after the next release. Alright, the next 2005 release we'll cover, and the last one that I will show you the contents for, because it's the last Sony Wonder DVD that I have, is Arthur Gets Lost. Now, the VHS version from PBS Home Video would obviously, the fan-made PBS Home Video version on VHS would come out in 1999. And along with Arthur's Treasure Hunt and Arthur the Music Video, all three of those VHS tapes would be the last ones to have the PBS Kids P-Head logo on the front cover, spine, and back cover that does not have the P-Head in the circle. And would also be the last ones to open and close with the PBS Kids ident from 1993 to 1999, using the 1997 version with the EI balloon on the VHS. Now for the DVD version, the front cover would be updated. It would be dark blue with darker blue circles. Dash is on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have Arthur in the PBS Kids logo. And the back, I would imagine, would have Dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And of course, the episodes would be the Season 2 episode, Arthur Gets Lost, which is actually just called Lost in the title card. And the Season 1 episodes, Arthur Cleans Up and DW Gets Lost. Now, for the PBS Home Video VHS version from 1999, released through Warner Brothers, that would obviously open with the FBI warning, 1996 Warner Home Video logo, and PBS Kids Pee Pals ident with EI balloon. And at the end, would close with the PBS Kids Pee Pals ident with EI balloon as well for the 1999 PBS Home Video VHS version. As for the 2005 PBS Home Video DVD version, released for Paramount, let's see what that has at the beginning before the menu. Alright, so at the beginning of the Paramount and PBS Home Video DVD version from 2005, you see the Paramount warning screen. Now let's see what appears next, as far as what PBS Kids video logos use.
PBS Kids!
On the PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur Gets Lost After the Paramount warning screen, we get the custom kids video version of the dot transformation ident that cuts to black and has the correct audio, and then the Use Your Imagination promo fan-made 2005 version, and then it takes you to the menu. Then, after you push the play button on the DVD version of Arthur Gets Lost from PBS Home Video, it takes you to the title sequence, and it has the garbage cans clattering noises, and the start of the episode Lost. Now, for the closing to the PBS Home Video DVD version of Arthur Gets Lost, I imagine it closing with the last few seconds of DW Gets Lost, and then going straight to the Season 1 end credits, with the copyright notice from the Season 9 end credits, and the cookie jar logo zooming into the screen, and a WGBH logo without the word Boston. Then the funding credits, with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor, and Rhodes 60-second cinnamon rolls being the last sponsor. I added something that was otherwise missing from the Sony Wonder DVD before the PBS Kids video logo. If you want to know what that is, find out for yourself. It'll be coming up anytime. This time I included the Season 7 through 8 funding commonly used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns with the Concord Grape Jelly Purple checkerboard background. And if you want to know what PBS Kids video logo comes next, it'll be coming right up, and there's your answer.
PBS Kids!
And if you think this was the custom PBS Kids video version of the dot transformation ident that cut to black and had the correct audio at the end of the PBS Home Video version, you're correct once again. Normally, the broadcast version of the dot transformation ident would be shown at the end if the Season 7 through 8 funding used on Seasons 1 through 4 reruns with purple background proceeded, but in this case, it's the kids' video version because, as I said, Sony Wonder releases stopped using PBS Kids idents and funding credits at the end after May 2005. Then it takes you back to the menu. Now we'll go to the next release, and from this point forward, I will only tell you what I imagine would appear for the following releases, and for the 2006 releases for the last part. Because I don't have any more Sony Wonder DVD releases of Arthur after this release. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the contents, and now I'll just tell you the contents from this point forward. Next release we will cover is Arthur's First Crush. The Sony Wonder DVD was released on August 2nd, 2005, and the PBS Home Video version released for Paramount that's fan-made will also come out August 2nd, 2005. That's 1 week before Paramount released All Together Teletubbies on VHS and DVD on August 9th, and 3 weeks before Paramount released Caillou's Furry Friends, Booba Big Windows, and Cyber Chase Eco Haven CSE on VHS and DVD. Now, the front cover for Arthur's First Crush is a light yellow with olive green, I guess, circles. Dashes on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have dot in the PBS Kids logo. And the back, I would imagine, have dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And now the episodes here are the Season 6 episode, Crushed, which is the redubbed version with Arthur voiced by Rendell. And then the Season 4 episodes, What Is That Thing? And 1001 Dads. So, actually, the episodes would start with Crushed, the season 6 episode, which is the redubbed version with Arthur voiced by Rendell, then 1001 Dads, and then What Is That Thing, which are both season 4 episodes. Now, for the PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine that one starting with the Paramount warning screen, and then the kids video version of the PBS Kids Dash transformation ident that cuts to black, and then the fan-made 2005 version of the Use Your Imagination promo and the DVD menu, and then after you push the play button, the title sequence would have the garbage cans clattering noises, and the start of the episode Crushed. And the closing would have the last few seconds of the episode, What Is That Thing? And then the older online local library promo from 2001 to 2003 makes a surprise appearance. Then the end credits from season 4, but with the cookie jar logo zooming into the screen and WGBH logo without the word Boston. And then the Arthur Funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor and Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls being the next sponsor, or last sponsor, I should say. And then I would imagine the PBS Home Video version using the Arthur Funding credits from seasons 7 through 8, commonly used on seasons 1 for reruns with the Concord Grape Jelly Purple checkerboard background. And then the custom kids video version of the PBS Kids Fishbowl ident that fades in and out. And then it would take you to the menu. So that's what I would imagine would be used for Arthur's first crush. Next release we'll cover is Nerves of Steel, with the release date also being August 2nd, 2005. That's when the Sony Wonder version came out on DVD. That's when the PBS Home Video version will come out on DVD and VHS alongside Arthur's First Crush. And the front cover for this one would have a very light blue background with circles, and it would have Dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have Dot in the PBS Kids logo in the DVD, and the back, I would imagine, have Dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. Now, for the episodes that are on Nerves of Steel, the episodes are the Season 5 episode, Nerves of Steel, the Season 3 episode, Sue Ellen and the Brainosaurus, and the Season 4 episode, Prunella's Prediction. Now, the PBS Home Video version of Arthur Nerves of Steel from 2005, I would also imagine it would open with the Paramount warning screen and the custom PBS Kids video version of the Dash transformation ident that cuts to black, the fan-made 2005 version of the Using Your Imagination promo, DVD menu would appear afterwards, and then after that it takes you to the title sequence. After you push the play button, it takes you to the title sequence with the garbage cans clattering noises once again. And the start of the episode, Nerves of Steel. And the closing to the fan-made PBS Home Video version of the DVD, Nerves of Steel, would have the last few seconds of the episode, Prunella's Prediction, and then a newer online local library promo from 2004 to 2009, this time with DW saying, visit us online at pbskidsgo.org, and with DW being voiced by Jason Swimer instead of Oliver Granger. Then the Season 5 credits with the cookie jar logo zooming into the screen and WGBH logo without the word Boston. Then the funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor and Road 60-Second Cinnamon Rolls being the next sponsor or last sponsor. Then I would imagine Arthur Nerves of Steel, using the season 7 through 8 funding commonly used on seasons 1 through 4 reruns with the grassy green checkered grid background. And then the custom kids video version of the PBS Kids Snow Globe ident that fades in and out. And DVD menu. That was Nerves of Steel. We have 2 more 2005 releases left to cover. The next release we'll cover is Arthur Loses His Marbles. Now, the Sony Wonder DVD version came out on November 1st, 2005, and the PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine, would come out 2 weeks later on November 15th, 2005. And, of course, the front cover for this would be orange, and it would have dash on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have dot in the PBS Kids logo on the DVD. And the back would have dot on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. And I would also imagine it would get a PBS Home Video VHS version on the same day, November 15th, 2005. And the episodes for Arthur Loses His Marbles, they are the Season 6 episode, Arthur Loses His Marbles, which is the redubbed version with Arthur voiced by Rendell. The Season 3 episode, Clarissa is Cracked. And the Season 1 episode, The Half-Baked Sale. And at the beginning of the PBS Home Video version of Arthur Loses His Marbles, this is how I would imagine it would open up like. It would start with the Paramount warning screen, and in the custom kids video version of the PBS Kids dot transformation ident that cuts to black and has the kids video text, as mentioned. Then the fan-made 2005 version of the Use Your Imagination promo. Then the DVD menu, and then the title sequence would have the water splashing noises. And the start of the episode, Arthur Loses His Marbles. Now, the closing to the PBS Home Video version of the DVD would have the last few seconds of the episode, The Half-Baked Sale, and then the newer online and local library promo from 2004 to 2009. The Season 6 credits with the Techno remix, and then the Art for Funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor and Road 60 Seconds and Minerals being the last sponsor. And then it'll go abruptly to the PBS Kids video version of the dot transformation ident that cuts to black and uses the correct audio again. And then it'll go to the DVD menu. Now that was Arthur Loses His Marbles, and now we'll go to the last 2005 release. And the last 2005 release we'll cover is DW Blows the Whistle, which I would imagine would get a PBS Home Video DVD and VHS release on November 15th, 2005 as well. And, of course, the Sony Wonder DVD came out 2 weeks earlier on November 1st, 2005. Now, the front cover for the PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine it would be yellow with circles. Just like Arthur Loses His Marbles was orange with circles, but DW Blows the Whistle would have dot on the left side of the PBS Kids logo. The spine, I would imagine, have dash in the PBS Kids logo. And the back, I would imagine, have dash on the right side of the PBS Kids logo. Now, the episodes that are on this DVD, they're all from Season 2, and they are the episodes DW Blows the Whistle, the awful episode DW's Very Bad Mood and DW's Name Game. And at the beginning of the PBS Home Video DVD version of DW Blows the Whistle, this is how I would imagine it would open up. Like, it would start with the Paramount DVD warning screen, the custom PBS Kids video version of the dot transformation ident that cuts to black and uses the correct audio, the fan-made 2005 version of the Use Your Imagination promo, DVD menu, and then it takes you to the title sequence with the glass breaking noises and the start of DW Blows the Whistle. Now, at the end of the PBS Home Video DVD version, I would imagine it closing with the last few seconds of the episode, DW's Name Game, and then the older online and local library promo makes a surprise appearance with Oliver Granger voicing DW, and it's saying, visit us online at pbskids.org or America Online keyword PBS Kids. Then the end credits from Season 2, and then the funding credits with Chuck E. Cheese's being the first sponsor, and then Road's 60-second cinnamon rolls being the last sponsor, and then once again it abruptly will go into the PBS Kids video version of the dot transformation ident that cuts to black and uses the correct audio, and then it'll go back to the menu. I hope you enjoyed all the 2005 releases, and stay tuned for Part 5, which will be the 2006 releases and will be the final part of the 30th anniversary special of Arthur, where I covered all the fan-made PBS Home Video releases of Arthur.